TD Jones is back at it again. What's going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. And today we're going over day 8 of New York Giants training camp. I believe there's only like 1 or 2 more days left of training camp that is open to the public. So unfortunately, this is coming to an end very soon. But don't worry, content will still be rolling out on this channel more than probably 2 to 3 times a week probably. Unfortunately, I had to miss yesterday, day 7 of training camp. I had a flag football game and was unable to kind of come home and gather all the information and record it, edit it, and put it out in such little time. So I apologize for that, guys, but just know it was a Jalen Hyatt sort of day on yesterday on Thursday. All right, so let's start off with a couple rest days and injuries, guys, that you probably seen out there but didn't participate fully in drills. So when you hear rest days, don't think that they're sitting on their couch watching, you know, TV, or like they're just not there at work today. They are suited up, they are participating, but not like fully in team drills. They're kind of on a load management sort of deal, which I love. And we're gonna get into some injuries, but you know, it's very surprising that at this point of training camp, the Giants haven't had any major concerns or injuries yet. It really tells to how, I guess, secure and how responsible they are in dealing with training camp. As years prior, we've already seen by this time, we're like a couple, like 1 or 2 guys out for the season at this point. So Ryder Anderson is dealing with an injury. He is sidelined for now. Couple of rest days coming. Azeez Ojulari, Leonard Williams, this is his second day with a quote-unquote rest day. Sterling Shepard participated a little bit, but he was on a rest day as well, along with Paris Campbell just came back, and along with Jihad Ward. He was doing some drills, some individual drills, practice drills, but didn't participate in the 11-on-11s. I believe Adoree Jackson didn't participate fully either, but we'll get into that. I believe Adoree Jackson didn't participate fully either, but don't fully quote me on that. I don't think he participated completely throughout the day. A couple of roster moves to get out the way. The Giants signed Donovan Jeter. We got another Jeter in New York, nose tackle, and this is due to the fact that DJ Davidson and Nunez Rocha is just coming back, and I believe somebody else as well is still on the pup list. A'Shawn Robinson, how can I forget that? A'Shawn Robinson and DJ Davidson still on the pup list, and Nunez Rocha is just coming back. So their defensive tackle lineup is a little shaky right now. They also waived Jeff Smith, injured waive. I guess he got hurt. I didn't know about that, but he got waived injured. I honestly thought that he was not going to make this team anyway. There's just too much wide receivers here. Even if you're trying to, you know, make some space, some mandatory space for, you know, special teams guys, it's just not going to happen, man. There's just too much talent, too many veteran guys in the back end that are going to edge out these special team players at wide receiver. And Jeff Smith, I don't think had a chance to make this roster. All right, let's go to the lineups before we talk about everything in training camp. Center, JMS. Safety, Pinnock. Dan Duggan said he's probably going to stop talking about that because it just seems like a done deal. It's pretty much a set in stone fact that Jason Pinnock is the starting second safety and JMS is the starting center. We also have Bredesen at left guard, Glowinski at right guard, and the slot cornerback position was filled by Adoree Jackson, with Darnay Holmes taking over a little bit later. We're going to get into that. And Darian Beavers, unfortunately, back at inside linebacker 2. Fantastic. With the whole Adoree Jackson in the slot thing, it really had me thinking. I know Trey Hawkins has really come up all of a sudden, 6th round pick out of Old Dominion, and he's been performing well. He has been on the first team for like 4 days straight now. So he's constantly competing now. He is like with the first team now. It seems pretty apparent that he might get a lot more playing time than we anticipated, especially even when we first saw him take first team reps. We thought we were just trying him out. I think they're actually considering starting him on the outside and putting Adoree in the slot. This is being because I don't think they're trying out this new trio at cornerback just because of Trey Hawkins. I really think they're toying with the fact of Adoree, or toying with the idea of Adoree in the slot, because they are just straight up dissatisfied with the slot cornerback position and the competition right now between Darnay Holmes and Cordell Flott. I really think they're just not satisfied with it whatsoever. Darnay Holmes just keeps getting cooked time and time again. He is just not having a good training camp, and he is like the king of training camp. Going back years prior, ever since he was a rookie, I mean, he's just always been making plays in training camp. That has not been the case this year. And Cordell Flott, although he hasn't looked as bad as Darnay Holmes, he definitely hasn't looked fantastic either. There's still a lot of issues with Cordell Flott, and he probably just doesn't seem like he's ready yet. If I had to make a educated guess, I would say that Cordell Flott wins the position at slot cornerback, but I do think there is probably a 10% chance. Right now, I would say a 10% chance that we are probably going to see Adoree shift into the slot and Trey Hawkins and Deonte Banks on the outside. I know we're really banking on that. We're really taking a risk on that with two rookies starting on the outside, because the majority of the NFL has their number one receiver on one of those outside positions. But it just might be a put your best defensive backs out there and let them play sort of thing. So that might be the case. It really just seems like Darnay Holmes and Cordell Flott have not been doing as well of a job as the rest of the starting defensive backs. So now that we're in full pads, we could talk about how these guys are competing in the trenches. Dexter Lawrence continues to dominate. He went up against JMS again and again. It probably looked even worse. Dexter Lawrence handled JMS even worse this time, but JMS came right back at it, and he was going against his fellow rookie Jordan Riley, the late round pick out of Oregon, and he handled him pretty well. You could see the clear difference between a Jordan Riley and a Dexter Lawrence. There is a fierceness that comes with Lawrence that did not come with Jordan Riley, and it looked like JMS handled him pretty damn well. Ben Bredeson has been doing a good job as well. I really like what he's been doing. I mean, he's been all over the place, playing with the first team, playing with the second team, then going from center to left guard, then to right guard yesterday. So that's very interesting to see. It seems like he's really been, I guess, getting the hang of things, and I'm really happy that one of these guys that we had on the interior for a couple years now is at least shaping up, man. Shane Lemieux, we don't know what the hell's going on with him. Josh Azudu has been messing around with the first team a little bit, but I don't know where that's going right now. But at least Ben Bredeson is doing well. And another person that's doing pretty well up to this point was Evan Neal. Yes, he has some of his faults. You still see a lot that he needs to work on, but he is getting a couple of wins against a couple of the edge rushers, including Kayvon Thibodeau. He had a win against Kayvon Thibodeau, and also had a win a couple of days ago on Azeez Ojulari, and he had a win against Oshane Ximines as well today. So I like his progression. It just seems to me he still needs to work on just getting to the outside fast enough. He had a particular play against Oshane Ximines, which I think he won that rep, because I mean, he pushed back Ximines far enough that it would give Daniel Jones in a real game scenario time to throw the ball. Usually if you're beat on the outside, you just want to keep pushing that edge rusher back and back and back, even if he beats you on the outside. And Evan Neal did a good job at that, but just seems like he started chasing him a bit, and it seems like he had his hands get too far away from Oshane Ximines. He didn't keep him close enough, and that really got away from Ximines. It allowed him to be free towards the bending outside. And I mean, it came to the point where Ximines was literally doing rip moves, but there was no hands to rip because Evan Neal just couldn't catch up. It just seems like Evan Neal cannot handle the outside rush very well. He may be able to handle those bull rushes. He is a stronger guy, may even be able to handle inside rushes, but when it comes to handling the outside rush, I mean, he just doesn't seem like he has it all there yet, but he's definitely improving. Now, I said Evan Neal up to this point was doing well because he did get hurt, unfortunately, but it's a huge sigh of relief. It is just a concussion. I know in any other scenario, saying it's just a concussion is probably not the most easiest things to say, but when it comes to the game of football and the bevy of injuries you can possibly have, concussions are something that is easy to work with in this game, and Evan Neal went out with a concussion, but who replaced him was Matt Parrott, and Matt Parrott wound up doing a damn good job. It really looks like he's been improving. Listen, he was a once beloved player on this channel. I really loved him coming out of UConn. He was one of my draft crushes in the 3rd round, and we wound up drafting him, and I was extremely excited getting him and Andrew Thomas in the same draft, so I was very excited about that. But it seems like, you know, he's been pushed down on the depth chart due to injury. A big part of that was injury. He got hurt. I believe he was out for a whole entire year at some point, which kept him from developing, but he still has the talent he had in college that a lot of people were infatuated with. And, you know, you can see him taking a couple of reps there, handling the outside rush, keeping a wide base. I mean, he has the technique there. He has the skill set to be a good swing tackle, if not a starting tackle one day. But I'm happy that he came in replacement of Evan Neal and did pretty well. D. Jones, amen. Daniel Jones, man, especially in the red zone, has been killing it, man. The Giants, especially even when Daniel Jones was first starting in the league, probably his rookie to sophomore year, we were one of the worst teams in the red zone. I mean, it was just garbage. It was doo-doo. But back in 2022, last year, the Giants placed 5th in the NFL in red zone offense, and they seem to be getting back on the right track. I mean, they're still going off in the red zone. Daniel Jones had 3 touchdowns in 9 attempts, 3 touchdowns in 6 completions, which is great. 50% of your completions were touchdowns. There were 1 to Darius Slayton, 1 to Daniel Bellinger, and 1 out the backfield to Saquon Barkley. So that's something good to know. I believe Paris Campbell had a touchdown as well, or a big catch. He did have a touchdown, so I guess that's 4 TDs. I don't know why it said 3 touchdowns, but he also had 1 rushing as well. I mean, he is going off. He cannot be stopped, man. Daniel Jones is having one of the best camps I've seen from a Giants quarterback in a long time. Even going back to Eli Manning, man. Eli Manning in training camp. I mean, Daniel Jones is like having one of the best training camps I've seen from a Giants quarterback. Tyrod Taylor had himself a day too. He's quietly been having a good training camp. He's been throwing some good balls, especially to Jalen Hyatt downfield, to David Sills as well. He threw 2 to David Sills today, and including 1 to Colin Johnson. Johnson's an interesting one, man. 6'6". I mean, he's had a little bit of experience in the NFL. He was coming in probably going to be our 3rd receiver last year if he wasn't to get hurt. And I mean, he was a huge target for us, and you know, a big-bodied guy, kind of what Isaiah Hodgins was for us last year, but he, you know, unfortunately he got hurt. He was supposed to be what Kenny Galladay, like a Kenny Galladay sort of replacement, it seems like, because Kenny Galladay couldn't get the right footing, and Johnson was supposed to be some sort of replacement to that. We wound up getting Hodgins later on in the season, but if Johnson keeps performing the way he is, we'll see what happens in the preseason. He's really going to shake things up as far as the wide receivers go. Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodgins, Paris Campbell, those are the starting 3 right now. Jalen Hyatt, Cole Beasley. So that's 6 right now. Cole Beasley, Sterling Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson, Colin Johnson. I mean, that's 9 receivers, man. I don't know how the hell the Giants are going to shape this thing out. It's going to be a headache and a half trying to get this wide receiver core like down to about 5 or 6, however much they're going to keep. But man, that's going to be interesting to see. And we got to highlight a big play from the Twins. I call them the Twins because they were drafted in the same year together, both linebackers. Tate Crowder was drafted with them, but he's not with us anymore. He's not dead. He's just, I think he's still in the NFL. I think he's with the Steelers right now. I could be wrong. But the Twins, Carter Coughlin and Cam Brown, I love seeing them 2 together. It's amazing to me they're still on the roster, but they still find a way to stay on the roster and play on special teams and fill in wherever they need to do. And Cam Brown had a tipped pass with a Carter Coughlin interception. Great to see the teamwork from the Twins. Love to see it. But that is it for day 8 of New York Giants training camp. I'm sorry if this was a little bit of a long one. There was a lot to talk about, and I kind of wanted to get those details in before the end of training camp. So if that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you guys leave a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.